lucky net cord for Cavalli there, but Ferry somehow, wow, I have no idea how he salvaged that point. That was just like riding the high, I think, because that I don't even know how he won that point, but it is triple match point for Ferry to win this match in straight sets, top 10 win, and make the Wimbledon semifinals. Ferry serving, and he gets the ace, and Ferry has done it. Oh my goodness, he is into the Wimbledon semifinals. That is quite the win. I mean, he was down and out in so many of his matches this week, and he just beat a top 10 player, not like in straight sets, in dominant straight sets too. 6-4, 7-6, 6-love. And he came back. Yeah, he came back from a breakdown in the second set, and he came back very early too. I mean, it could have been easy, getting broken right at the start of the set to just kind of falter throughout the set, but very, very quickly into the set, he broke back and didn't get broken for the rest of the match. Stayed so solid on serve, and obviously so solid on return, considering the tiebreak and that third set. And yeah, Ferry first Grand Slam semifinal, and it comes at home at Wimbledon. The crowd is obviously very happy. I'm sure if you're a British person at Wimbledon today, you are having a great time. But yeah, I mean, a little anticlimactic in the quarterfinals today, all things considered, when we had that epic match yesterday, because Zverev has won in straight sets as well. He served out that match. So yeah, quarterfinals today are over 6 hours before they were yesterday.
Yeah, I was talking to Tom on WhatsApp about an hour ago, maybe a bit more, an hour and a half ago, saying, yeah, can you join sort of in 30 minutes from now, whatever time that is in the world, wherever you're tuning in from, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, although they could both be done by then. I was like, there's no way both of these matches are going to be done before then. I think that might have been when, in fact, it was around about the same time that Cavalli went up a break in the second that I was talking to him. And in fact, he said, and I don't blame him for this, he said, yeah, Cavalli's going to race away with this now in 4, but Fritz Zverev might still be going. As it turns out, both are done in around about 2 hours. Funny enough as well, the women's semis were done in straights.
The women's semis yesterday were much closer.
Yeah, right. But the two women's were done in straight sets. And yet, one of the women's semifinals took about 35 minutes longer than the other one, because the one on court 1 began half an hour before the one on center, but the one on center was done 5 to 10 minutes early, if that makes sense. So anyway, tennis being tennis, it is what it is. I know I asked you in the chat and you probably responded, but I'm not. Well, I kind of do know how Ferry did it, in that he was defending unbelievably today, and Cavalli would just get frustrated at times.
Yeah, because I mean, that's a huge part of Cavalli's game, is just getting every ball back and frustrating your opponent. And I think he didn't really know how to deal with that coming against him. So, but yeah, Ferry did a great job just adapting his game and utilizing his play style to just completely like befuddle Cavalli. Feels like Cavalli had no idea what to do out there.
I saw Jake suggest that Cavalli is overrated. I don't know. I think the thing is with Cavalli is that he has 20-minute bursts, but he does go to the two extremes.
I don't think I'd call him overrated. I mean, I spent the whole last year calling him underrated, and then I got proven right recently. I don't think he's overrated. He just had he can just be a little inconsistent, and he has matches like this where he should win coming into it, and he just can't find his best level. And I mean, we saw in the Kachanov match, the highs are so high and the lows are so low, and that's just the type of player he is.
And of course, Arthur was also down a break in the 4th, I think, wasn't he, to Dimitrov. What Dimitrov must be thinking right now, I don't know, in terms of maybe the battle he would have fought against.
And Zizou Bergs too. I mean, he was up a double break in the 4th set and a break in the 5th set and couldn't close it out.
Ooh. See, that's what I mean. Yeah. Most players on tour there will be a slam out there where there's a semi-final run out there for them. You know, there'll be things changing. There'll be moments. I mean, we see Noskova now in the semis, but she saved a match point with an incredible backhand down the line against Justeo, I think, a couple of rounds ago, 3 rounds ago, or something like that. And these sliding doors moments, and of course we had one with Dimitrov a year ago, but I think we've talked about that to the end. Yeah. We should really get back to Ferry here. There was also the backhand return, I think, worked with him pretty well today. I haven't seen a lot of Ferry's matches during this tournament, and I know we've spoken a bit about it before. Did you see his match with Khachanov? Have you seen him in other matches during this tournament, apart from the Dimitrov one?
Ferry, I saw the tiebreak of the Bergs match, and I did see a lot of the Dimitrov match, but that was it.
And did those 2 moments in the match with Dimitrov, did that, because I remember saying, but Caboli's winning this, he's the favorite, right? And both you and Brenner in particular actually sort of hesitated. I think you both probably leaned Caboli, but you weren't as convinced as me, put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've just watched enough of Caboli like throughout his career to know that the matches you think he's gonna win, he doesn't always win. Like I said, he's just so inconsistent and so unpredictable. And Ferry was on this crazy run, and I did say, I think I said Caboli either in 4 or 5, and clearly I was I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether there's some extra issue with Flavio today. Actually, I don't think so, because he wasn't the guy who went off the court at the end of the second set. It was Ferry who went off to just have a few minutes to just probably compose himself and get going again in the third, which is interesting, actually, in terms of the mental and physical dynamics of that. And also, I could see, at least in terms of his demeanor and the way he was talking to his box, it didn't seem like a lack of energy from Flavio. In fact, the opposite. I would say he was remonstrating with his box. I think at one point, he was like this to his box, not as in like, I want to come off court, but as in like, just leave it. Whatever you're saying to me, whatever energy you're trying to give me, don't do that or do something else. And there's all sorts of dynamics that we can talk about between player and coach and player and box there, but that's again for another time. But I don't think he was gassed at all. It's not like he's had a super arduous tournament. He came through in straights in the previous round over De Minaur. I just think we have these spells. I even said at the beginning of the second set today, when he got that break, and I did think that there was going to be a momentum shift towards him, and whether he ends up winning the match, I don't know, but it goes 4 or 5 in my book. At that point in my head, that's what I was thinking. And I compared it to the French Open final, where Caboli just didn't show up for the first set. Because although Ferry did kind of snatch that first set, you know, when Caboli served to stay in it, Flavio wasn't looking great in those first 8 games, 9 games of the set. And I think it was Ferry who just was edging it in terms of threat, in terms of the way the points were panning out. So, yeah, and I remembered the first set in the French Open final where Flavio just didn't show up. And on that occasion, it was like, yeah, it's a Grand Slam final, first time in your career. You know, maybe you're being a bit overwhelmed by the occasion. And of course, he grew into that match. And I thought the same was going to happen today, but it just never happened, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you'd think he'd be better in these moments now, because he made the Wimbledon quarterfinals last year and took a set off of Djokovic. And Djokovic was kind of injured in that match, but Caboli just couldn't really take advantage of that. And you'd think that a year later, having the experience of the French Open, that he would be better in these big moments, but he just did not have it today.
Right. One more word on Ferry. Every time I think that maybe the occasion will get to him, maybe the crowd and the support of being at home might be a negative for him, it just isn't the case, right? I mean, against Dimitrov, I think he definitely was feeding a lot off the crowd, and maybe that is just the 1 or 2 points difference, which really is all that match came down to in Arthur's favor. But today I just thought, well, maybe again, it's going to be a step too far, and maybe, you know, expectation, newspapers, you know, he's there in the UK, he's from the UK, he'll be seeing what's going on, I guess, in the media at least. It's going to be very difficult for him to get away with in terms of the press he's having to do post-match, etc. And Yeah, and yet here we are. He's growing with the expectation rather than cowering.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he has nothing to lose. I mean, he makes the fourth round, and then he makes the quarterfinals, and now he makes the semifinals, and there's no pressure on him. Like, people aren't suddenly saying, "Oh, Ferry's gonna win Wimbledon."
No, that's
More
true.
it's more celebrating his achievement as it comes, which I feel like is kind of rare. Like when I think about the US Open, when an American player is doing well, the narrative is always like, "Oh, can they win the US Open?" But I feel like the narrative with Ferry is just, "Wow, look at what he's doing." So I feel like there's no pressure on him right now.
I know what you mean. Although I will say that if we wind the clock back to pre-Andy Murray era, the British
Yeah.
players in Ferry's shoes right now, there was a sort of not an expectation and an anxiety that the run's going to come to an end at some point, but an anxiety also related to, 60, 70 years without having had a Grand Slam champion. And I'm thinking about players like Jeremy Bates. I'm thinking about players like Mark Petchey, all the way through to Tim Henman. Of course, Henman was the one who was really getting very close with those semi-final runs. Ferry is sort of more on the blind side and more like, you know what, let's just enjoy this while it lasts.
Mhm.
And it's lasted now until the semi-final, incredibly. I just went on to the ATP website to put Ferry against. I actually Googled Ferry Zverev head-to-head, okay? And normally you go straight to the ATP website. Unlike when you do it on the women's side, it still takes a bit of negotiation to get that up. In fact, it took me to the ATP website, but in a weird way, it's got Ferry against Bai. And as in BYE, as in like you've got an automatic pass to the next round. And it's a 0-0 head-to-head, which I didn't even know was possible. I'm actually going to
I
show
didn't know
you.
you could do that.
I didn't even know. It was just a glitch, or I don't know what's going on here. But he has an 0-0 head-to-head against Bai. So whether that is
Wait, that's
accurate
so funny.
and that Ferry's never had a bye in his life, maybe. I mean, he's never been sort of seeded or anything. So I guess at least at big tournaments, I'm sure he's not been seeded. That may happen in the near future if he keeps repeating runs like this. But it's actually the Zverev head-to-head that I'm looking for, which I'm assuming is also 0-0. I don't know if you know off the top of your head or you've.
I can't think of any time they've ever played each other.
Yeah, there you go. 0-0.
Yeah.
Sometimes you scroll down and there's been a futures or challenger match, which they don't include. But on this occasion, it isn't the case. Let's look forward to this semi-final, which actually is a little surprising on Zverev's side as well. I thought he would lose to Fritz today. Fritz, I don't know if you know or you saw or you're aware, he had a medical timeout at the end of the first set.
It was the tendonitis again, just
right
at the worst time.
That's what I thought. Because as soon as there was a conversation, but they were dead on serve at this point. I think it was maybe 4-5 or 4-all or something like that. And I saw a conversation between Fritz and the umpire. Oh no, actually, sorry, I just saw the umpire on their microphone, on the walkie-talkie, and it was like, oh, okay, is that for the physio? Possibly. If it's the physio, which player? Both seem to be all right at that stage, but again, I'm leaning more towards Fritz because of the year he's had on and off the tour in terms of those spells off the tour. And then when it turned out to be Fritz, it's like, okay, what is it? Because then I was looking at the Fritz box and it was like they didn't seem to be too perturbed. And initially the conversation between the physio and Fritz also was like, okay, maybe this is an illness. And I'm thinking, fingers crossed here, it's just a headache. It's just a momentary sickness or whatever. And he's just going to take a tablet and continue. What we don't want to see is, attention to the knee. And that's exactly what happened. And I didn't have commentary on, but I was then assuming it was the tendonitis returning.
Yeah, and like he just, like the movement just wasn't really there today. And I mean, I know with Fritz, movement is never his biggest strength, but he just couldn't really get into those rallies. And like his service games, once Zverev was getting into his service games, you could just kind of see Fritz's game breaking down a little bit. So, I mean, yeah, I'm also surprised to see Zverev at this stage, just considering his past Wimbledon results. But I don't know. I feel like if we have a healthy Fritz today, it's a different conversation.
May well be. I mean, obviously, 7 matches in a row had gone Taylor's way before today. in that head-to-head. Interestingly, Zverev won the 5 of the first 8 and then 7 in a row. Yeah, I think you might be right. The way Zverev was serving, though, and the percentage of first serves landing in, I think it was around about 80%. Interestingly, Taylor on second serve was really struggling in terms of his own second serve. Now, again, I don't know if that's related to the tendonitis, but yeah, Taylor's not always like an elite move. I don't think he's bad. I think he's certainly made improvements in that area as well from the baseline. But yeah, Zverev coming through in this tournament. I think one of the reasons as well why I didn't have Zverev making the semis was not so much his draw was not bad, at least until the 4th round, but also just because I've suggested that this is the year that Zverev is going to make a quarters, make a semis, make a final at Wimbledon, and it's just never even really been close, that really. And maybe, I guess, 2 sets to love up on Taylor in 2024. Zverev, I think, picked up a knee injury at some point during that match, and maybe today was sort of karma for that in a way, in a positive sense for Alexander. Anyway, here he is. He's in the semis, and he's the favorite to make the final. I mean, I keep writing Ferry off, but he's the favorite, whichever way we look at it, right?
Yeah, I mean, he is, but also we've seen Ferry do some crazy things this week. So if he can meet the moment and just keep playing well, and I mean, we've seen he's a very solid backhand, which you need to compete with Zverev, and he has that. And I mean, he's just playing very fearlessly right now. So if he can keep doing that, I don't think it'll be as lopsided as these quarterfinals were, but Zverev is for sure the favorite.
The thing is with Zverev as well is this percentage of first serves landing in, and there are 3 or 4 players on the tour that can just about handle that even on grass. But one of them isn't in the tournament at all because they were injured, Carlos Alcaraz. The other 2 are on the other side of the draw. I mean, I was looking at the way Djokovic was dealing with the first serve of Felix yesterday, and it was just off the charts. It was
ridiculous.
Big Djokovic getting his racket on it, but with interest. Often sort of stretching everything and getting his racket on it, but it was landing near the baseline, and suddenly the rally was at neutral at least. And obviously Yannick Sinner as well. There are other sort of top returners on their day, but some of them, in the case of Holger Rune's situation, have been off the tour for some time. So as good as well as Arthur returned today, especially on the backhand side, it's Flavio Cobolli. If Zverev is getting 80% of his first serves in,
yeah,
I'm not sure that Ferry can deal with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Ferry hasn't really faced a huge server yet, the way Zverev is. But we've seen him adapt to, his opponent's play style. So I could see a scenario where Zverev wins the first set in a very lopsided manner, and then Ferry kind of digs his heels in the second set and the rest of the match.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the win over Vitano, we should. I just thought the Ferry win over Otto was like Otto doing what Otto does. He has an incredible result like he had against Shelton. And then, yeah. This half of the draw was, for me, I began the tournament thinking Shelton or Fritz. Tiafoe wasn't far away from my thoughts as well, but it was Shelton or Fritz to make the final. I didn't trust Alexander to get to the semis, as I've already highlighted. I did think Flavio or someone like that might make the quarters or whatever, but Otto sort of upset Ben, and then Ferry upsets Otto, and then Ferry upsets Bergs and keeps going. But yeah, Otto is someone that when that happened, I just thought this is Otto being Otto, as in like his peaks are high and his lows are low. Yeah. He rarely can back up big wins. He's so talented, but things do sometimes get away from Otto in terms of back-to-back and certainly back-to-back wins. So I just thought, I didn't see the match against Ferry, but I thought, oh, there you go. Didn't really give Ferry a lot of thought. I know he had that crazy win over Bergs, but it wasn't really until the Dimitrov match and the Dimitrov win where, of course, he was down a break in the 4th, as we've highlighted, and then down a break again in the 2nd today. So you certainly can't write off Ferry in terms of guts and belief and making comebacks. But I do just see this being Zverev in straights.
I'm going to say Zverev in 4. I feel like Ferry gets a set. I don't know. I have so much hope for this guy now, just considering what he's done this week. And I don't think he goes out in straight sets.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll have watch-alongs as well for both of the men's semi-finals. We'll also have watch-alongs for both of the women's semi-finals. And as you said, today, these semi-finals getting done in double quick time about so we pushed the curfew last night. We were close, even though that match started in a reasonable time. Actually, I was even saying during that fifth set tiebreak that if this goes 10-all, and I know that Wimbledon's pretty strict on that curfew. We've seen
There's no way they would have stopped it in the middle of a fifth set tiebreak. That would have been ridiculous.
What about if it gets to 11-all, 12-all? And it's not like I don't know. I've seen this curfew in how strict they are with it. You know, that there was a situation yesterday where there was 2 days ago, I think it was Lehecka against Zverev, where it was 3-all.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, we're not letting this go to 4-3. And I was thinking, just let it get to the change of ends, because most service games are done in well under 5 minutes. And if it gets to the third or fourth deuce, fine, right? But because of how strict I think they find this curfew, the curfew is just like, there's no question that, I don't know. But I think this curfew is mega strict.
Yeah, I mean, if it was any other player, but like if you tried to curfew Novak Djokovic in that moment, it just would have been a disaster. He would have been so mad.
I don't know. I'd love to know. I'd love to know how. I don't think there's much flexibility on the curfew. You know, a minute or two, sure. 2 minutes past 11. I don't know if there's a Wimbledon. So here's the answer. Has there been a single Wimbledon match that went to 5 past 11? I don't think so. Not 5 past 11 local time, of course, since this curfew came into place. I don't think there has been. But
has there been a fifth set tiebreak happening?
No, again, possibly not. And that's a fair point. But they don't push it. They don't even. So there have been matches that have been 3-all, 4-all, maybe getting close to that point in a third set or a fourth set, if you like. And they're not. You know, some matches they finish up as 10 because they know. For example, was it? I think Murray maybe in a match with Tsitsipas. I'm going to say about 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago, I think. And it's like, you know what? We're ending it now because we just can't get. We can get close to the 11 o'clock, but we just cannot. You just can't go past it. So, and I could be wrong, but
no. But what I think the difference there is that, like, okay, with the Zverev Lehecka match, if Lehecka had come back to win the set, which he did, then the match goes longer. But with a fifth set tiebreak, it's like the match is going to be over soon, no matter what you do. So I feel like you just play it out. But I mean, I guess we'll never know unless something like that happens again.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
That is the sound of the crowd, happy as Arthur Ferry wins his first point of the match. It is on the Zverev serve. It's 30-15. Welcome to all of you. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you click subscribe. as we head towards 34,000 subscribers. Second serve here for Ferry to look at. He'll look forward to hopefully getting a lot of second serves today. Oh, double fault from Zverev, 30-all. He'll also be quite happy to get a few double faults. The double faults from Zverev used to be a big issue, didn't it? 4, 5, 6 years ago, particularly in pressure matches. But that's something he's pretty much eradicated from his game. As well as getting a phenomenal amount of first serves in. I think he worked on it quite a bit during that period when he was out injured. When he did his ankle ligaments, I think it was, wasn't it? And he was off the tour for about 7 months, I will say, after getting injured against Nadal in the French Open semis of 2022. The next I think we saw him was in one or two of those exhibitions that we get in December, sort of as part of the build-up to the AO. That's what I recall, I think. And it probably took him 6 to 12 months before he started producing the sort of results that he was doing pre-injury. Be interesting to know in the live chat. Do we think Zverev was going to win that semi-final against Nadal? He's missed a backhand up the line, so we're going to go to deuce. So if he doesn't get injured, does he win that semi against Nadal? Nadal was struggling physically, and he couldn't hold serve. Now, you could apply that to Zverev as well. So, but yeah. Tomorrow, of course, we will have Karolina Muchova against Linda Noskova. That'll be live on the channel. Oh, it's a pretty late start, that final. Noskova, so it's starting at 5 o'clock, is that right? 4 o'clock local time? Didn't know that. Deuce here. Zverev on the attack, gets to game point. Zverev holds with an ace. So 1-love for the German. Ferry now to serve at love 1 as we see more famous people privileged and up there in a box of some sort. And I have no idea who any of them are. Backhand goes into the net from Zverev. So 15 love. Zverev goes long on the forehand, so it's 30 love. Backhand from Ferry. Slice here from Zverev. And the forehand from Zverev goes into the net, so it is 40 love. Ferry settling pretty well and pretty quickly. I think that's always a concern for a first-time Grand Slam semi-finalist, someone who's not really been... What is Arthur Ferry's best slam result until now? I'm going to say second round in Australia this year. Well, I think he beat Kaboli, didn't he? We'll have a look. Still 23, of course. Yeah, second round in Australia. He's never even qualified for the US Open. That goes out from Zverev, and so it is 1 game all. To get voting in our poll as to who you think is going to win between Zverev and Ferry. Backhand there in the net from Zverev. Let's have a quick look at that poll, shall we? Now 15, Zverev going into the net. At the moment, it's 69% for Zverev. Hey, Freddie. Just seen your comment. So this is our poll here. Get voting in it. 70 for Zverev, 30 for Ferry. Feels about right. I think I would probably go a bit more for Zverev, but maybe there's a few Ferry fans out there. And he has settled pretty well. If he plays as well as he had done throughout the tournament, he's got a chance. But yeah, Zverev the warm favourite. I guess it's kind of an anomaly that Zverev hasn't been this far at Wimbledon before. I get it in terms of his grass court game, but with other elements to his game, but none more than his serve, he should be making quarters and semis at Wimbledon before now. And he hadn't been past the 4th round until this year. Unreturned serve there means he's at 40-15. So vote now, Zverev or Ferry. Vote in that poll on YouTube, but also do let us know in the live chat. Freddie, who are you going for, Zverev or Ferry? There we go, just going to vote for Zverev. Let's get the score back up for you as Zverev holds for 2-1. Change of ends. A lot of people, though, vote who they want to win in these situations, don't they? rather than who they think will win. Okay, Fery to serve hit 1-2. Forehand here for Fery. He's going to be loose and missed, so 15 all. Good to see Freddie in the live chat, who's tuning in from New York. Do let me know where you're tuning in from. We will, of course, have the second men's semi-final as well between Sinner and Djokovic live on the channel. That'll be obviously after this match, so any time between 1 and 3 hours from now. Good return there from Zverev, 15-30. Got a poll for the women's final as well up for you in our community tab on YouTube. Here is the link to that. Okay, we've got 2 break points now for Zverev, 15-40. Biggest moment of the match so far. Ferry under pressure on his serve. And he's got it, 3-1. Okay, love 15 here on the Zverev serve. And now it's 15 all after a good serve out wide, but Ferry's not happy with the electronic line call. I think he's suggesting it definitely landed out. 15 all. Wow, 15-30. Listen to that. I don't even need to tell you what's going on. Chasing down that short ball. And Zverev tried a reaction volley, but didn't react quick enough. What do we think about the quality of this year's Wimbledon? Drama, yeah. Some drama. I mean, of course, Felix Djokovic ranks pretty highly in that one. And also yesterday between Goff and Mukova, certainly ticking that drama box. Maybe as well Sinner in the first round against Kecmanovic. That's a good volley from Zverev. Oh my goodness me. Well done, Artur Fery. Wow. Chasing down what was, I think, a pretty good volley, putting him in all sorts of trouble, and then coming up with a shot like that. Not sure about Arthur Fery, more like Arthur Airplane. Arthur Magician. Don't know if that works. I'm not sure if Arthur Aeroplane works either. Anyway, here we are. Forehand here from Zverev. It's going to go long. Back on serve, people. Back on serve. What do we think of the old French-British debate regarding Arthur? Do we care? I'm not too invested in it, but I don't really care regarding support for me regarding nationality. Probably in the 90s I did. In fact, no, definitely I did. But even then, my first ever favourite player wasn't British. And I wanted them to win always over British opponents. I think it's a lot of tennis fans don't, especially actually some of the more, what's the word, active tennis fans, if that makes sense, the ones that are really invested in the sport. I think, you know, a few that just turn up at Wimbledon for a couple of weeks every year, maybe they do. Trek here, 444, thank you for joining us. Do make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If Zverev wins the first set, my guess is that he'll win the match in 3 or 4. Ferry wins the first set, it'll go all the way to 5 sets. I don't dislike your thinking there, Trek 444. And by the way, Trek 44, you may already be a subscriber. Oh, look, there's Virgil van Dijk. Humperdinck van Ganch, I think. And there was also another guy next to Van Dijk that I recognize. Just looking out over the London skyline. I've just rewound a bit so I can see who that is. There was someone else near Van Dijk that I recognized. So there's Virgil. Ah, it's the guy who does some pretty cool interviews and documentaries. Oh, what's his name? I saw him interviewing Gary Lineker recently. I know his name. What's his name? Louis Theroux. Louis Theroux. Pretty good, I think. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch. Ferry getting to the semis is decent in some respects. Yeah, I can't quite fully get on board with the emotion and passion when they're as filthy rich as his parents are. And I mean, I know 90, what are we looking at? 99% of tennis parents are somewhere between rich and mega rich. His parents, of course, are closer to the mega rich. Ooh, forehand miss there from Zverev. Look at that, just out. Regarding the nationality, I gather he moved to the UK. What made him change nationality? That's a question I don't know the answer to, because maybe there's a very reasonable, emotional, romantic reason for him changing nationality. I don't know. Wayne, this is a story I'm not familiar with. Did that happen this week at Wimbledon? He just did something very similar as well regarding a serve of Zverev's. Oh, Victor, yeah. That's a fair point. Listen, I'm not a Liverpool fan by any stretch of the imagination, but that's a fair point. I remember Gary Pallister's last 12 months at United. Steve Bruce to some extent as well, although, yeah. Rio and Nemanja, you could see their powers were waning pretty much immediately as soon as Ferguson left, but I don't think it's about Ferguson's departure. It's just that was their time and their age. It's a good return from Zverev. Forehand from Zverev here into the forehand of Ferry. Now that's the kind of rally you just never would have seen at Wimbledon 25 years ago. He was 10 months old, Victor? I don't think so. Although I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, actually, yeah, tennis is an individual sport, so that's one of the reasons we don't get so invested in it. I need to get my back to live, if you know what I mean, because I paused it and just to check out some people in the crowd a moment ago. Yeah, but does Ferry have the game? Let me know what you think. Does Ferry have the game to not do it from the back? And he's doing all right so far. Yeah, he's not mad at you, Jake. Good to see the chat pretty lively today. 3-3, by the way. So the final, the Wimbledon women's final tomorrow, is it right that it's on at 4 p.m.? Is that right? Okay, forehand to forehand right now. Love 15 on the Ferry on the Zverev serve, but it's going to be 15 all after Ferry goes long. Okay, 15 all here. Hey Trek, watching from the Philippines. More power to talking tennis. Thank you very much. Maboe. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Trek 444. Wayne talking about the fearlessness of Ferry, yeah. I know it might be too little too late, but is there an argument for trying to be play his normal game in the first set and seeing where it gets him? That's what I'd be tempted to say. I get it that there is a gap between the two, but it's not in the way that they've been playing over the last 10 days. And oh, lucky Ferry there with a net cord on that return. I think the men's final, it's been about, I think last year was the first year they did it. I think they're trying to sort of get it so it's more watchable for the Americas, right? So if it's like 4 p.m. local, that's 11 a.m. in New York and 8 a.m. in California. And therefore pretty much all of the Americas can watch it at a reasonable hour. Nice forehand winner there for Zverev to get to 4-3. Let me know if you see anyone else in the crowd of particular note that I should be aware of. I thought I just saw Tim from The Office, the British version that is, but I could be wrong. It was just like a second. And it just reminded me that it's 25 years since the first episode was aired, I think. There's loads of people on Instagram that appeared in The Office anyway, posting about it, which has been pretty cute. Seeing pictures from pubs and so sort of not quite backstage, but, you know, like images of some of the, especially from the, not the A-listers or not the, what A-list is the wrong word, not the primary characters. So there's sort of, there's a guy who presents, this is the British version, people. There's a guy who is the, what do you got planned for us? It's in a Christmas special. Let me just find it because there's a story here. What do you got planned? There's a moment when he gets, it's one of those, what do you call it? Like, after, so it's in the Christmas one and it's, there's like some B or C list celebrities, if you like, in a blind date, I think, or maybe it's not blind date. It's when they're all being asked to come on the show. Let me see if I can find it because I left a comment on his Insta today, and there's a reason for that. Let me see if I can find him. Just a moment. So I followed him today. This is annoying. Ferry here, 15 all. It could be this one. It could be this one. Or maybe not. Anyway, he comes on, he just waves to the crowd and walks off again. But the guy who introduces him and hosts that night, I actually met him in Australia about 20 years ago, just over 20 years ago. And he was doing some stand-up there, and I went to his show. He gave me a ticket to his show, and we had some drinks as well. So, yeah, that's that. Maybe that wasn't really worth the wait. Okay, Ferry here, 40-30. I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. I was regarding Zverev. I mean, I think I've laid it pretty bare. Until the summer of 2024, the innocent till proven guilty mantra that we tend to follow in democracies was very relevant, and therefore I didn't have any big thoughts on it. But of course, when Zverev chose to take a different path, and of course, because I know someone who was following the case very closely and knew just how much his defense was struggling before the settlement came, because they were also in the courtroom as the judge announced the settlement. Yeah, that changed everything. Yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, what does it say about a judicial system where you can just buy your way out of trouble? There we go. Ferry is the lowest ranked player to reach the gentlemen's singles semi-final at the championship since Ivan Isavic did so in 2001. Ferry's 114. Ivan Isavic then was 125. Of course, I think he must have had a lot of injuries go around because, you know, he was very much there or thereabouts as a former finalist. Zverev missed hitting that forehand, so it's 4 all, 15 all. Indeed, yeah. Yeah, indeed. It's not the same. Yeah, and also he's lying. That's not the end of the questions, but also it's not innocent. I mean, I can just say, no, I didn't eat that chocolate. Didn't eat it. I'm innocent. I'm proven innocent. Well, no, we haven't. What's all that chocolate all over your face? Nothing. Nothing. I'm innocent, so I'm innocent. If I say I'm innocent, then I'm innocent. Right, so I've done the T unreturned for 40-15. Yeah, I know what you mean. As a pure underdog story, it doesn't. for sure, but the narratives and the story, the 10-year pursuit of winning a Wimbledon title and finally getting over the line. I mean, would Mukova winning tomorrow be the biggest since then? Yeah, it would. It was very special. Would Mukova winning the Wimbledon title tomorrow be the most special since then, in a way, in terms of pursuit? All these near misses in slams, not so much Wimbledon as such, which is more Goran's pursuit. And then, of course, you have Jana Novotná, which probably in tennis history, but I think undeniably in my lifetime is the most heartwarming of Wimbledon wins. For what it's worth, I think I like Linda's personality and quirks, and the nose ring being one of them. I like it. She's certainly someone I'd have a beer with both of those finalists. I also like what Linda had to say. I think she was talking to the BBC, or might be in the Wimbledon radio, one of those audio things. Is that Hugh Laurie, maybe? Difficult to tell behind the shade, but tell behind the shades. Yeah, she just said, you know, what's I think someone asked her what's in the water in the Czech Republic to keep producing these tennis players, and she said, oh, it's probably more like the beer. And John McEnroe says, yeah, that's what I like to hear. McEnroe gets some grief, and he's right to get that grief in terms of his lack of awareness of what's going on in the sport. But yeah, I still don't mind him in many respects. Okay, Ferry here, 30 love. Exactly the same one, yeah, exactly. I mean, Mukova is a similar age, I think, to Krejcikova, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's more than old enough to recall Jana, even if maybe more so as a sort of a heroine of women's tennis rather than when she was playing. I don't know when Jana retired, probably about 25 years ago. Let's see when she retired. I think she retired, 99, so actually 27 years ago. So actually, I would imagine Mukova's 29, I think, so she will be too young to remember Jana the player, but she's probably familiar with Jana the coach and someone who would have been very influential in Czech tennis for probably the rest of her life before she passed away tragically early. I'm going to say about 15 years ago, was it? It's incredible how. When did she pass away? Oh, much less, 9 years ago. But still tragic at the age of 49. Am I right in that she's the only, maybe the only female winner of a Grand Slam in the Open era to no longer be with us? I could be wrong with that. I mean, if we go back, just looking at the Open era, just going back to, say, the 80s, Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario, Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova, Hannah Mandlikova. All these people are thankfully still with us. Chris Evert. Yvonne Goolagong, I think she's still with us, right? Barbara Jordan as well. Virginia Wade, I'm pretty sure she's still with us as well. Subaka's definitely still with us. So yeah, I think so. Right, let's get back to this match. 5-all, Zverev serving. Yeah, I remember that too. Right, 30 love here for Zverev. Ah, yeah, that's Ivanisevic was your mother's favourite player. Nice, Jake. Okay, we're on serve here. Ferry's going to be serving to stay in the first set. For those of you just joining, wondering what's happened. Not a lot. A couple of breaks early on. I think it might have been in Ferry's second service game that he got broken. But then he broke back immediately. Okay, good to see we're getting plenty of votes in our community tab here for tomorrow's final. Here's the link for you to post on or to vote on. Miss hit there from Ferry. $15-all. Just going to get the score back up for you on the screen. There's only one player most partners will tip in Saturday's final. Really? Nice drop shot, but Zverev is going to get there. That's a nice volley from Ferry to get to 30-15. Maybe, Victor, maybe. I don't know. I see it as a very close call. We've got a preview coming out. For the women's final. Should be coming out in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. $40.30. Not sure if Brits never used to cheer errors. I think when you've got a partisan crowd, Americans, Brits, French, Aussies, I'm thinking of the slams, but actually, in Spain for the big tournaments there as well, they always just cheer the points that go the way of their favourite. And if we think back to the AO final of Medvedev Nadal, when you're even there, you had a Spaniard playing in Australia. I don't mind it personally. Like if it's someone hit a forehand return to the net and it's a big point, you're going to cheer for your favourite. I guess double faults is should be the line, right? I remember the Hedman situations very well. And yes, they were delighted every time Hedman won a point for sure. Backhand there, winner for Zverev, +1, 1-0. So that double fault from Ferry, 2-0. Always missed that forehand as well. 3-0 Zverev. Hey, Matthew. Cruz Hewitt is into the juniors final at Wimbledon. For what it's worth. Missed return there from Ferry, so it is 5-0. (6-0) Zverev. Okay, 6 set points here for the German. It's a great return. 7-0. He wins the tiebreak. And so he is 2 sets away from his first ever Wimbledon final. Right, what's going on in the live chat? Because I've neglected you for a few minutes during that tie break. Zverev Sinner is the most miserable Wimbledon final ever. Wayne's a good addition to the chat. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, but that's still 69% points won on your first serve. It's still pretty good. 76% first serve in is what Zverev does, and it's one of the reasons why he wins so many tennis matches. Just look at those stats now. And he's winning 67% on his second serve. So that's, if you win more than 50% on your second serve and you're winning approximately 70% on your first serve, it's going to be tough, right? Ferry, 9 out of 10 at the net. Maybe he does need to come to the net more often, Jake. Just 5 winners from Ferry across 12 normal games and a tiebreak. I'm not so sure. Yeah, if you're sort of the John McEnroe of tennis and you just tune in for semi-finals and finals. But we do a bit more than that, don't we, Ghosty? We're here for Estoril qualifying. We're here for Bonn Open qualifying. Thanks, Wayne. Much appreciated. I'll keep you going, hopefully. So I've just seen this Norwegian commentary that I alerted you to a few weeks ago, Jake, when you got all sensitive when I was going, Shirley Bassey, Tom Jones, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Mark Hughes, Ian Rush. Anthony Hopkins. Gareth Bale. Richard Burton. Michael Sheen. Geraint Thomas. Gareth Edwards. Dylan Thomas. Your boys. Neil Kinnock. Your boys took one hell of a beating. Just looking at the chat. Okay. Ferry here, 40-30 on his serve to begin this second set. Yeah, he did, Ghosty, yeah. You got to see this Norwegian commentary I just posted in the live chat. Oh, Arthur. I guess if he's largely spent most of his time going what's the score with Ferry? Because I thought he'd been in France for like 80% of his life, but then somebody wrote in the chat earlier he moved to the UK when he was 10 months old. Anyway, his parents are both French, right? So I guess it's Arthur Ferry. Although I'm probably mispronouncing that. John, don't even try. Let's go play from Ferry to get to advantage. And Zverev goes long, so it's 1-love Ferry. I mean, I don't think downplayed is the right word, Victor. Dismissed as much as possible. I don't really have a lot to say on it. I mean, there's so many changes of nationality. I'm just interested in the motive, really. 90% of the time we kind of know what the motive is, but French to British doesn't maybe have quite as much obvious things going on. Oh, it's a terrible volley from Zverev there. Love 15. I mean, the problem is there may well be a financial incentive, right? Maybe. I don't know. But there might not be. I mean, he does his absolute best to do a British accent. It's probably more Dick Van Dyke than most, let's say. So that means he's basically spent almost no time in France, right? Yeah, indeed. And so, exactly. So when it's money, and again, fine. I'm not fine, but don't expect me to cheer for you. That's what I would say. Then I find it very difficult to like cheer, just because I happen to be born on a stretch of land that was financially attractive. Oh, I mean, it's hardly Marcus Rashford, is it? Yeah. There was a study about tennis, and particularly regarding the UK and the elitism. And I was alerted to it and told I should check it out, but I can't remember. And tennis's inequality and how the Brits have very much fostered that. But I can't remember who penned it. Okay, 40-15. That's going to go long from Zverev.
Quick preview of the women's Wimbledon final between Linda Noskova and Karolina Muchova. They have met just once, and it went 3 sets, and that's already what I'm thinking for tomorrow in the final. I think Muchova's all-court craftiness has the ability to trouble Noskova a bit more than
nice forehand winner there from Zverev. 30 love.
When you think about players like Keys and Cirstea, Kostyuk, and and Muchova's been in a fight, but you got to think about those pressure points and how gutsy of a breaker Muchova played together, where she points up there. But let's see them and kind of disrupt Noskova from the back of the court. Goes pound for pound against the Muchova slice, because I think that's going to be an important, just variety, has that ability to trouble such a strong baseliner. But let's see how the Noskova slice goes pound for pound against the Muchova slice, because I think that's going to be where she had it all, from baseline play, going inside in to the Coco Gauff forehand, from inside out forehands and getting to the net and finishing points up there. I just think her sort of calmness and also just variety has that ability to trouble such a strong baseliner. But let's see how the Noskova slower than her previous opponents in the final between Linda Noskova and Karolina Muchova. They have met just once, and it went 3 sets, and that's already what I'm thinking for tomorrow in the final. I think Muchova's all-court craftiness has the ability to trouble Noskova a bit more than her previous opponents. When you think about players like Keys and Cirstea, Kostyuk obviously has a little bit more of that all-court ability and the athleticism factor, but I think Muchova is able to change the rhythm, and I think that might throw off Noskova a bit. And Muchova's been in a final before, 2023 Roland Garros final against Swiatek. I think the experience will definitely help, even if it's marginal. But you got to think about those pressure points and how gutsy of a breaker Muchova played against Coco Gauff. I think she can really take a lot from those 20 points altogether, where she had it all, from baseline play, going inside in to the Coco Gauff forehand, from inside out forehands and getting to the net and finishing points up there. I just think her sort of calmness and also just variety has that ability to trouble such a strong baseliner. But let's see how the Noskova slice.
Okay. How inspired or otherwise are we by this match at the moment? Okay. On serve. What's going on in the live chat? What's going on as well in our poll that we have for tomorrow's women's final? We'll have that, of course, live on the channel. People leaning Mokova. Oh, and Zverev has got the break, 2-1. So there we go. Am I the only one who's totally underwhelmed by this match? I mean, Sinner Djokovic could at least deliver. I mean, it certainly delivered in Australia, didn't it? It's a nice backhand win up the line there for Zverev to get to 30 love. Right, yeah. There is also a lot more to Zverev as well that I've seen Zverev up close and how he acts around other people, including kids. And it's not great. It's not great. Yeah. She was grimacing a bit, yeah, Victor. But she allayed fears, didn't she, in her post-match interview? I actually wish that this was true. This were true, Ghosty, but sadly not. Oh, Ferry, doing a muck over there, chasing down a drop shot, getting there in good time, but not dealing with it. That's what I mean. Just regarding yesterday's semi, which Mukova won, and it was crazy, and it was dramatic and heartwarming and all the other sort of stuff. So I'm sorry if I'm urinating on the bonfire. You wouldn't have thought so, Matthew, but there was something that actually in the last couple of years, he's also got an extra day. So, and he mentioned that, and he looked totally fine in that fifth set. Shocked me. He'll be back first. Runa, Alcaraz or Draper? Maybe Alcaraz at this rate. Zverev holds for 3-1. Jake, have you now seen the Norwegian commentary, the legendary Norwegian commentary that that I was referring to? It's going to go long. Is it from Zverev? 15 love. Oh, no. Landed in. Or maybe it touched Ferry's racket on the way through. Maybe that's what it is. Let's have a look at this. Maybe. Either way, Zverev won the point. Love 15. It's a nice little cushion volley there from Ferry to get to 15 all. Good depth on that backhand. Slice here from Ferry. Forehand cross court from Zverev, but the forehand goes long from out of Ferry. And it feels like the Ferry journey is grinding to a halt. Yeah, we need some energy, don't we, on the men's tour? Huh. Could do. Could do. I mean, I think, let's say he loses the next sets 1 and 2, and there's no guarantees that's going to happen. He might get a set. He might make a dogfight of this second set yet. But some of these rallies don't look good from his perspective. Oh, wow, Zverev. I mean, it was a sensational point and one that Zverev won. $30-40. Do make sure you hit that like button, people. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. And he's gone long, so we have got to 4-1. Double break. Zverev has been broken once in this match so far, but if Ferry's going to make a fight of this second set, he's going to have to break him twice. Hour and 16 minutes of play so far in this match, and Zverev leads by a set and a double break. Let me know in the live chat who you think's going to win between Sinner and Djokovic. Oh, I didn't know that. Let me just have a look. I'd be shocked, but I guess Alcaraz is... Yes, it does look like it, yeah. I mean, Zverev actually is having an incredible year in terms of the numbers. Particularly as last year was a real... Do you remember the gap between 2 and 3 in the world at one point was like, I don't know, 5,000 points or something? But Zverev having a phenomenal few months. What's he done? He obviously winning the French Open, getting to the semis here, semis in Halle, semis in Munich, semis in Monte Carlo, semis in Miami, semis in Indian Wells. So just mega consistent. Semis in Australia. Just semis and finals galore. And then, of course, Alcaraz hasn't played since Barcelona. 30 love here for Zverev after an unreturned serve. It's very bizarre how Zverev, Sinner, Djokovic isn't on first. Zverev has become the 13th player in the Open era to reach the... Oh, it's gone. Just looking at some predictions here for the Sinner Djokovic match. Matthew going Sinner in 4. Wayne says, I hope Djokovic, but I think Sinner. Ghosty saying, I have no choice but to root for Djokovic. I mean, it won't start under the roof, I don't think. But there, of course, if it goes 4 sets and beyond, it may well close. Just like it did in the... after the first set, was it between... Felix and Novak? $30.15 here. Double fault there from Zverev. Yeah, Victor, but actually last year he wasn't even being that consistent either, hence the gap between him and the world number 2 being so wide. It was like there was the joke of me being closer to Zverev in the rankings than Zverev was to Alcaraz or Sinner, whoever was number 2 at the time. Don't think I've been outside yet. Zverev holds for 5-1. The Mukova-Noskova poll is just closing a little bit, the gap, I mean. It was sort of 70, then it was coming in, 65, it's now 64. There's the poll to post in if you wish to vote. Okay, that is that'll be a cool stat, should he achieve it. A lot of tennis to be played before then, particularly on Sunday, whoever it's against. If it's a Zverev-Djokovic final, Djokovic is the favourite, right? And it's a question I know I've posed before, but is this Djokovic's last chance at 25? I feel like it is. 15-all here on the Ferry serve. Now that lady there we do see from time to time in the blue dress and the black sunglasses, but I have no idea who she is. Miss hit forehand here from Ferry's going to land in. Zverev comes to the net and doesn't put the volley away. Mm. 30-15. Oh, yeah. Sir Winston Churchill, Sir Anthony Eden, Clement Attlee, Henry Cooper, Lady Diana. Can you hear me? Maggie Thatcher. Your boys took a hell of a beating. Just don't tell Jake. He'll get all, yeah, good one. He'll get all upset. Maybe. Yeah, I guess it does depend on the manner of the win and all sorts of things. True. Maybe. It's a nice reaction volley from Zverev at the net to get to deuce here. Indeed, the late, great Glenda Jackson. She was an actress, right? As well as a politician. Certainly some interesting comments in the chat coming up. Game point here for Ferry. After Zverev hits that hits that forehand and it goes long. Victor here. Look at Victor and Wayne with their Glenda Jackson knowledge. Double fault from Ferry. 1-5 deuce. Tell you what, though, you've got me teased there with the famous French sort of thing. You know, Napoleon, Marie Curie, Louis XIV. Quarantine Moutet. Emmanuel Macron, can you hear me? Backhand cross court from Zverev into the backhand of Ferry. Ferry here with the game point. It's a nice backhand cross court winner from him on the rise. Hit with a lot of confidence, that one, but it may be too little too late, especially when it comes to this set. Okay.
An interesting final we are looking to have, but one thing to note is that it's a win-win for Czechia. Whoever comes top, the country will definitely be represented. For Mukova, that I think she has the advantage going into the final because she has been there before, she has seen it, although she lost, that being in 2023. But then against her fellow countrywoman and also defeating top names going into that one, she knocked out Naomi Osaka, would also not forget former winner too in Krejcikova, on her run to the final. So I feel she would want to consolidate on that against none other but Linda Niskova. I feel, yes, she might be a big threat, but then Mukova has been able to defeat her before, although it's once, but then you have to hold on to the experience you have against your opponent. So, but both of them haven't won it, haven't done it before. One has come close, didn't touch the trophy, and this time she has the chance to it. But then I feel most of the advantage would tilt to Mukova. Hopefully she doesn't bottle it the way she did in 2023. An interesting
Okay. Zverev is serving for the second set. He leads 30-love, 5-2. Ferry not really laying a glove on the Zverev serve in this second set, unlike the first one. He did at least get one break. We're going to have 3 set points now for Zverev here on his serve, 5-2. And he's got it done. 6-2. Comfortable. Looks like Ferry's going to go off for a little break. So he goes off court. I think he's okay physically, just probably welcoming the respite. Yeah, I guess so. And the repercussions of that, yeah, mentally.
An interesting final we are looking to have, but one thing to note is that
Is this going to be done in straights for Zverev now? Feels like it. I think I went for Zverev in straights pre-match, but it's hardly big call John. Few minutes break here for both players. I think Zverev is just staying sat down. If you've got any other tennis questions, do get them in the live chat. I'll come to those in a moment. Still waiting for Ferry to return to the court. We will, of course, have a watch along for Djokovic against Djokovic against Sinner, which will be coming up after this match. What else we've got going on there? Borg versus McEnroe at Wimbledon. That gave Borg a lift. Yeah, good point. Yeah. No Houdini act today, John, says Victor. No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's true, Sean. Yeah. Yeah, that's also another point. Yeah, just getting 0 points. Yeah. Okay, these guys just opening up for the main event. Wayne says that one of the two opponents for Zverev in the final have to have an off day for him to win the title. Ferry returns to the court. Still got this poll going. It's just now lengthened again for Mukova to win the final tomorrow. Final chance to vote in that. I say final chance. It'll still be there for another 24 hours or so, but I'm actually about to post that on our preview video as well. So all votes need to be got in now if they're going to be counted in our preview video. And a little sneak preview to the preview. It is significant. So get voting now. Right. Ferry here serving first. 15 all at the beginning of this third set. I was about to sort of say the deciding set. Well, I guess in a way, it might well be the deciding set, right? (30-15). Ferry goes long there with the backhand. A little happiness there at Ferry holding serve. So Ferry on the turn. He at least leads this third set. Maybe Matthew. I'm not sure we're going to be seeing Ferry in loads of slam semis, but we might see him, you know, become a more prominent fixture on the tour, you know, maybe being seeded for a slam at some point, that kind of thing, career high, top 50, etc. Actually, where is he in the live rankings? I'm sure he's going to get a career high after this run. Oh, yeah. Actually, he's up to 36, I think. So, yeah, he's already breaking into the top 50. Thirty love here for Zverev. That backhand's going to go long from Ferry, and so it's 1 game all. Is it going to be 2 slam finals in a row for Alexander Zverev? So here's a couple of questions for you in the live chat. If Zverev doesn't get injured against Nadal in the 2022 French Open semi-final, who wins, Nadal or Zverev? Let me know in the live chat. If you want to know the score line at the point of that injury, it was at the beginning of, or a tiebreak was just about to begin, I think. And Nadal won the first set, I think 7-6, didn't he? Crazy tiebreak, that one. And Zverev was 6 games all. And so he gets injured, but he's 1 set to love down. But he is 1 tiebreak win away from leveling things up. And remember, Nadal was just physically spent, I think. I think Zverev was not great either and probably contributed to his injury in terms of fatigue and how stodgy it was, the roof being closed, etc., making it really slow conditions, or just how humid it was, really, more than the roof being closed as such. Remember, I mean, Nadal, just his whole outfit was just soaking wet. But anyway, who wins that one? Zverev or Nadal if Zverev doesn't get injured? Then there's another one. Alcaraz, Djokovic, French Open semi, when Alcaraz started cramping. And I think it was 1 set all and they were on serve in the third. If Alcaraz doesn't get injured, who wins that one? Alcaraz or Djokovic? Sliding doors moments, I know. $40.30 here. Deuce. Oakley dokley, where are we at now? 2-1 on serve. John is a good journalist. What's going on here? Ayala went to an Erica Kirk School of Fake Crime to extract emotion. Wow. Wayne, what's going on? We said he's great to watch. 1 slam final for Ferry. I've got a couple of answers for you, Nadal. Oh, okay, right. So that's what I was interested in. Yeah. Who wins, Nadal or Zverev? Nadal seems to be the consensus. What about Djokovic? What about Djokovic against Alcaraz? I think most people, because I've spoken to quite a few people about this, most people lean Nadal, but the Djokovic Alcaraz one is 50-50. Just having a look at the live chat here. I don't know where Iala came from. I don't remember her playing a French Open semi against Djokovic or Alcaraz. I don't think so, no. I don't think so. I get her matches wrong. I thought she'd lose to Iga. And I thought she'd beat Paolini. But I gave my reasonings for that. Yeah, I see the flaws in her game. I see the positives in her game. Whenever I predict her to lose, there are quite a few people who get very angry about it. Mind you, some people get angry when I predict her to win as well. I do find her matches hard to predict, though, because she's a player. By the way, what's all this Iala hype in the live chat? Where's all this coming from? Wayne, what are you doing hyping Iala for? Iala's not even here. She's been out for like 4 days. Yeah, it's just difficult to predict because you just don't know when the body's going to give way. You don't know how solid her opponents are going to be. Oh, well, there's no doubt about this, Wayne. I think Wayne's onto something here. I must say, though, women's tennis, I like this. I like the unpredictability of it. Predictability in sport is the death knell. It's why there's so few eyes on men's tennis at the moment. Wayne, you got to stop this Iala hype, man. Stop hyping her. Just chill. It's the Wimbledon semi-finals. We've got Djokovic against Sinner to come. We had an amazing couple of semi-finals yesterday, none more so than Coco Gauff against Karolina Muchova. We've got a fascinating final, at least on paper, tomorrow, that could go either way. And you're busy talking about Iala. I don't get it. What is going on? Right. Zverev here, 40-15. And Zverev holds. Love 15 here on the Ferry serve. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, dum, 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 dum. What's going on? So, Mokova. Okay, forehand here into the forehand. Oh, wow. What about that forehand from Zverev? Oof. 3-2 gets the break. Simona wants Arthur to win. What's going on here in the live chat? What's going on here? I thought that was everyone was all happy. Ferry did not tuck tail. Ferry did not tuck. Not suggesting lies, suggesting desperation for a star. Oh. Yeah, Victor, I agree. Curtains. I don't even know where it came from. Wayne, I'm going to say it again. You got to stop hyping up at Yala. You got to stop this hype. What's going on? She hasn't played. She's been out for like 4 days. We've had Wimbledon quarterfinals. We've had Djokovic at 39 years old winning a match in 5 hours and 15 minutes in a match that was pushing the curfew because of the craziness of the match and the deciding set tiebreak. We had probably the match of the year yesterday between Goff and Mukova. We've got a fascinating semi-final between Sinner and someone pursuing their 25th Grand Slam in the form of Novak Djokovic later. And we still don't know how that's going to go. And we've got this amazing final, at least, to look forward to tomorrow. And all Wayne can do is keep talking about Iala. Stop talking about Alex Iala. Chill. Will Zverev ever be fresher heading into a major final? Maybe the French Open 4 weeks ago. Maybe. I mean, he wasn't really pushed, was he, en route to that final? I felt it was an advantage for Kaboli and Zverev as well in their matches in the build-up to that final, that both kind of benefited from various opponents' issues. $30 love here for Zverev. Yes, the sense of inevitability here feels pretty big. This is brilliant. Yeah. Right, 30 love Zverev becomes 40 love. Ferry there trying to defend, but just running out of steam at the moment. Agree. Much needed. Okay. Zverev to serve. 40 love. Out wide. Going to miss the first serve. What was your initial thoughts on going forward? When's Alcaraz going to be back? Nice forehand winner there from Zverev for 4-2. Oh, we've just breached 33,700 subscribers. Nice forehand winner there from Zverev. Love 15. Mr. Power is a legend, no doubt about it. Okay, this should be a Ferry point. I don't know what he's doing there, though. Missing that down the center of the court. Bizarre. Love 30. Yeah. I don't know whether you need to strongly suspect that, Victor. It's not like you know something the rest of us don't. I think the likelihood is that he'll be back before then. I think Canada feels about right to me, but I could be wrong. And even if it's not Canada, then you've got Cincinnati too. I think it was a little bit of a surprise that certainly from my perspective, good backhand return there from Zverev with good depth on it, and Ferry couldn't deal with it, so love 40. That he announced he wasn't playing Wimbledon as soon as he did. I think the French Open hadn't begun when he pulled out of Wimbledon, I think. Yeah, well, of course. Wayne can come back anytime. Good serve out wide there from Ferry, 15-40. Differences of opinion, definitely good. Definitely good. That can slice here from Zverev is pretty good. But we're still in the rally, but he's going to miss that forehand long. So 30-40. $30-40 here. Yeah, well, let's keep our fingers crossed. There's nothing serious long term. True. Oh, that's a lovely point there for Ferry to win, bringing up a round of applause from both the crowd, but also Alexander Zverev. Yeah, Jake, I totally agree. The thing is, though, I don't know why you took why he was. Yeah, it's great, but not when it's match point for a Wimbledon final for Linda Noskova. Hey, Freddie. Freddie's back. Freddie's like the bread on the edges of a sandwich, if that makes sense. I don't know if I've got the right word there with edges of a sandwich. But Freddie began the chat about 2.5 hours ago. Thanks for your effort. Watching it from New York. And here he is again, just popping up at the end. Thanks again. Next is US Open I watch every year. Ferry gets to 4-3. That round of applause there feels like sort of thank you for your Wimbledon run. Round of applause before he even walks off court. Okay. Four-three, Zverev to serve. Hey, Ahmed. In Pakistan, how are you? Love here for Zverev. Very good, very good. Okay, Ferry going long on that return. Right. So Zverev is one game away from a place in the Wimbledon final. It's a good forehand there from Ferry to get to 15 love. Do make sure you hit that like button, people. And of course, if you are new to this channel, hit subscribe. Big accomplishment indeed, Freddie, yeah? Yeah, I've seen quite a few of these comments before, Fairy Tale. Very good, Jake, that you're getting the joke now. But there is one you're missing. There's one you're missing, Jake. You're missing. Dun, 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 dun. So good they named her twice. So you don't get this. You don't get this on ESPN or BBC. 2-game points here for Ferry to get to 5-4 and make Zverev serve it out. And he's done it with an ace down the tee. Yeah, it is the guy from The Office there. That was Tim from The Office I saw in the crowd. So there you go. Thought it might be him. Make sure you join us for Djokovic against Sinner in the upcoming semi-final. We'll have Rachel on at the beginning of that commentary, and then we will have Amanda as well. Okay, here we go. Zverev to serve for a place in his first Wimbledon final. Where are you going to go with this serve? Down the tee, backhand return. It's not bad. And it's a loose forehand from Zverev, so it's going to be love 15. Am I right in thinking that Alcaraz served for the match in the Wimbledon final of 2024, and Djokovic broke, but then he went to a tiebreak and then that was easily won by Alcaraz. Am I right on that one? 15-all, by the way. I feel like that happened. Or maybe it was just that Alcaraz was up a break. Maybe he didn't serve for it, but I think he might have served for that. I remember thinking, I still think Alcaraz wins, but I wasn't sure he'd win that tiebreak because of the mental jolt of not serving it out. But he did win the tiebreak pretty comfortably for a straight sets win. Good forehand winner there for Zverev. To get to 30-15, so 2 points away. 134 miles an hour. I'm assuming that was the first serve that he just put in. Interesting towels at Wimbledon this year, like a reddy orange kind of color. Serve out wide. Volley here is going to be put away by Zverev. 2 match points for the German. $40-15 for a straight sets win over Arthur Ferry and a spot in the Wimbledon final. Okay. Where are you going to go with this serve? Out wide, block return, backhand from Zverev. Forehand, chop back. And it's going to go long. And as a result, Alexander Zverev is through to his first Wimbledon final after beating Arthur Ferry. It's an interesting sort of height differential there at the net between Zverev and Ferry. And the Arthur Ferry run at Wimbledon comes to an end. It is Alexander Zverev who proceeds into the final, and I believe that now means he will be up to number 2 in the rankings. So, yeah. Not sure if that's a career high or not. Has he been number 2 before? I think he might have been, actually. Yeah. Anyway, he's at number 2 in the rankings. Still a long way off Sinner. More than 4,000 points, I think, from Sinner at number 1. But obviously, Alcaraz being injured at the moment. There's Arthur Ferry, waves to the crowd, thanking them for their support. Zverev gives a round of applause as well as he heads off. Are we surprised at Zverev making the final? I'm surprised. I'm surprised. And what do we think about these orange? I like the towels, but of course it's a bit of a break from tradition to have that color of a towel rather than the sort of green and purple normal attire for their towels. I think there's members of Arthur Ferry's family there. There's some cheek kissing, which I think is more commonplace in France than it is the UK. But will be anything in the live chat, any sort of responses worthy in the live chat, or shall I just close this up and we'll see if it's Sinner Djokovic? There you go. Enjoy your breakfast, Ghosty, and fingers crossed we see you for the other semi-final, which is coming up shortly.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.